Welcome back to Future Cars Update, where we bring you the latest and greatest in the automotive world, from modern supercars to legendary classics. Today we're diving into a true American icon, the Pontiac GTO, a car that defined the muscle car era and became a symbol of raw power, speed and performance. Whether you're a die-hard classic car fan or just getting into the world of muscle cars, the GTO is a name you should know, so let's take a deep dive into the history, specs and value of this legendary vehicle. The Pontiac GTO was first introduced in 1964 and is often credited as the car that started the muscle car craze of the 1960s. The idea behind the GTO was simple: take a powerful V8 engine and put it into a midsize car to create a high-performance vehicle that could dominate the streets. John DeLorean, along with engineers Russ and Bill Collins, came up with this concept at Pontiac, and what they created changed the automotive world forever. The GTO was originally an option package for the Pontiac Tempest, but it quickly gained popularity, leading to it becoming its own model in 1966. One of the reasons the GTO became so popular was its aggressive styling, bold stance, and of course its powerful V8 engines. The early models came with a 389 cubic inch V8 that produced up to 348 horsepower with the tri-power carburetor setup. This made it one of the fastest cars of its time, and it quickly earned a reputation as a street racing legend. By the time the late 1960s rolled around, the GTO had evolved even further. The 1969 and 1970 models featured a more aggressive design with sharper lines, a split grille, and the famous Judge package, which added bold graphics, a rear spoiler, and even more power. The Judge was Pontiac's way of taking the GTO to the next level, making it a true competitor against cars like the Dodge Charger RT and the Ford Mustang Boss 429. Under the hood, the GTO offered a 400 cubic inch V8 and later even a 455 cubic inch V8, producing up to 370 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful muscle cars of its time. The GTO wasn't just about straight-line speed, though. It also featured a well-balanced chassis and decent handling for a muscle car of that era, with options like heavy-duty suspension and limited slip differentials. It was built for both power and control, which is why it became a favorite on the streets and even in professional racing. As the muscle car era started to fade in the mid-1970s due to rising insurance costs and stricter emissions regulations, the GTO saw a decline in performance. By 1974, the GTO was no longer the beast it once was, and Pontiac eventually discontinued the model. But despite its production ending, the GTO's legacy never faded. Enthusiasts and collectors continued to admire and restore these cars, keeping the spirit of the GTO alive. In 2004, Pontiac attempted to bring the GTO back with a modern version based on the Holden Monero. While the new GTO had impressive performance, featuring a 5.7-liter LS1 V8 and later a 6.0-liter LS2 V8, it didn't quite capture the same magic as the original muscle car era models. Sales were lower than expected, and by 2006 the GTO was discontinued once again. Today, the classic Pontiac GTO models are some of the most sought-after muscle cars in the world, especially the first-generation models from 1964 to 1971. Prices for these legendary cars vary depending on the year, condition and originality. A project car that needs a full restoration can be found for as low as $20,000 to $30,000, while well-maintained examples easily go for $60,000 to $100,000 or more. Rare models like the 1969 GTO Judge or the 1970 Ram Air IV models can command prices well over $150,000 at high-end auctions. Restoring a Pontiac GTO can be a rewarding but expensive process. Original parts can be difficult to find. High-performance upgrades can quickly add up. Many owners choose to restore their GTO back to factory specifications, while others prefer to build resto mods with modern engines, transmissions and suspension setups for better drivability while still keeping the classic muscle car looks. Driving a classic GTO is an experience like no other. From the deep rumble of the V8 engine to the raw power that pushes you back into the seat, it's a car that makes a statement. Whether you're at a car show, cruising down the highway, or lining up at the drag strip, the GTO is guaranteed to turn heads and get respect from car enthusiasts of all kinds. So what makes the Pontiac GTO so special? Why does it continue to be one of the most beloved muscle cars of all time? The answer lies in its perfect combination of power, design and attitude. It was one of the first cars to truly define the muscle car movement, and its influence can still be seen in modern performance cars today. From the Dodge Challenger Hellcat to the Ford Mustang GT, the spirit of the GTO lives on in every high horsepower American car on the road. If you're thinking about buying a Pontiac GTO, whether for collection, restoration, or just to enjoy the thrill of driving one, there's never been a better time. Classic car values continue to rise, and owning a piece of American automotive history is something truly special. Whether you choose an early model from the 1960s or a more affordable 1970s version, you'll be joining an exclusive group of enthusiasts who appreciate the legacy of one of the greatest muscle cars ever built. That wraps up our look at the Pontiac GTO. Let us know in the comments what you think of this legendary muscle car. Do you own one or have memories of driving one? We'd love to hear your stories. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Future Cars Update for more in-depth reviews on classic and modern vehicles. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.